Hi, welcome to KiwaniTalk. My name is Gary Gardner, and tonight we have a very special episode with our remote facility equipment provided by the Dearborn Cable Commission at a very important Meet the Candidate night here at the Park Place. We're going to have tonight mayor candidates for the city of Dearborn, mayor candidates for the city of Dearborn Heights, and we're going to have candidates later on for Dearborn Heights and Dearborn City Council races. But to talk about this and explain how this has been set up and why we're doing it, we have the president and CEO of the Dearborn Area Chamber, I get that right, Jackie Lovejoy. Jackie, welcome to the show.
Gary, thanks for having me again. A delight.
Thank you for doing this. It's a public service. We're going to have tonight to meet the candidates. People can get to know them, especially the mayor, especially the city council members. How did this come about?
You know, this was in place before I came to the chamber 8 years ago. It's a great meet and greet. It's made to be a true mingle, so you can walk up to your candidates and ask them one-on-one questions. I'm kind of lucky I walked into it. And I have to say, we're a little lucky with the pandemic, because while we did this virtually in June, because we didn't know we were going to open, we already had it set up.
Right.
To have it after the primary, we had more than 150 people RSVP tonight. And I always joke, you know, I'm not going to give all my money to a financial rep that I meet online and I don't meet in person. And people want to meet their candidates and talk to them face to face.
They're going to get a chance to do that tonight.
Yes, yes.
That's a great thing. Now you've been sponsored by a number of people. Who's helped sponsor this?
Oh yeah, I have to tell you, Comcast always comes to the plate. They have a great government relations arm, and so they came to the plate. ServPro of Dearborn and Dearborn Heights is our community spirit sponsor, and they have a boatload of great good works that they do. They just won Small Business of the Year with the Chamber Choice Awards that we host. And then Hype Athletics came to the table, because this doesn't happen for free, and it's free to the public. So we had appetizers, we had the candidates, and we really had almost 100% turnout of our candidates.
That's a very, very good thing. So to get people to know when they go out and make a vote is very important to make an informed decision. Again, the League of Women Voters is helping people to do that.
Oh, huge help. Their ballots are here tonight. We'll have them at the chamber. They're at all the public libraries. It's a great nonpartisan, nonprofit lineup of all of our candidates and what their platform is.
And the Dearborn Area Chamber is not just for candidate nights, it's for a lot of other things. Real quick, in the last minute or so, what does the Dearborn Chamber do for people and the businesses and the community?
We're conduits, we're conveners, we're communicators. That's what we do. We make connections for people. And we're a private nonprofit membership organization. We promote each other as members. And so we do everything from retail and restaurant promotion for something like Taste of Dearborn or Shop Small. We do educational seminars. We just had Consumers Energy come and talk about 12 storms, 12 weeks, 6 of them catastrophic. Of course, there's infrastructure problems. We haven't seen weather like this before. So that's what we do. We seek to educate and inform. And during the pandemic, the SBA, the U.S. Chamber, PPP through the federal government and all the banks, we referred members and non-members to people who could help them through those hoops and get the aid that they need.
Well, Jackie, thank you very much. People want to reach out to the chamber, they can do it on the web by going to
DearbornAreaChamber.org.
And by telephone, the old way.
313-584-6100. We'd love to have you call.
Jackie Lovejoy, President, CEO of Dearborn Area Chamber. Thanks a lot for putting this on. We'll be right back in a little bit with the real show. Thanks. Don't go away. Welcome back. We're here with mayor candidate for the city of Dearborn Heights, Bill Bozzi. Bill, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
So I already told your name, but you're running for mayor of Dearborn Heights. What do you think the big issues that are facing the city of Dearborn Heights are?
Well, the biggest issues we have right now is the flooding that we've been getting. For several years, there's been a lot of floods, and especially in June, we had the biggest flood that affected over 1,600 homes. We also have issues with our garbage collection, with late pickups, trash in the streets, and also the flooding is the biggest issue.
So what do you think the way to address that flooding issue is? That's a big concern for a lot of people. A lot of money is spent. That overloads the trash system too, because people are getting stuff thrown out. What do you think can be done about it?
Well, so far, since I've been appointed in January, I brought in a city engineer the city of Dearborn Heights has never actually had a city engineer. I brought in a guy who's got over 30 years experience. He actually one of the guys that designed, was the chief engineer for the airport at the McNamara terminal. So what he's doing is we're mapping out all the sewers in our city. And anytime we've been having concerns, he goes up, he looks at it, he tried to get a map. And I have somebody who does grants. So he's a grant writer. So he's writing a lot of grants for FEMA to purchase a lot of homes off the Ecorse Creek. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to purchase as much homes as we can off the Ecorse Creek. We're gonna demolish those homes, which is, it's a requirement by FEMA. And we're gonna put a basin, retention/detention basin off the Ecorse Creek. So we could alleviate some of the water going into the residents. They would actually go into the basin where the homes will be demolishing. And so the other things that we're looking at is Warren Valley. That's a city-owned now property. So there's a lot of potential to do with the golf course. One of the things, when it rains, it floods the whole course. So we're looking at ways to maximize people to actually golf instead of, for example, we had an outing several times and it's been postponed because of the rain. So we want to try to minimize that by trying to alleviate some of the water on the course itself and build another retention basin in an area that is not utilized by the course, so the water can do runoff into an area. So that's kind of huge for the city, and also it can take the water going into the residents in that area.
So another question is, why does Bill Bazzi want to be the mayor of Dearborn Heights?
Well, civil servant. I'm a civil servant. Been civil servant for many years. I served, as you know, in the Marine Corps. I spent 21 years in the Marines. That's in my DNA, to serve people. I served that country for 21 years, and I want to serve our residents now. I retired from the Marines, and now it's time to serve our people here in the United States and in my city of Dearborn Heights.
If you want to say something to the voters of Dearborn Heights, what do you want to say to them right now?
Well, I want them to vote for the best candidate, and that's me, Bill Bazzi. And I've been on the ground since day one. I was elected to council. I've done everything for the residents, and that's all, transparency. That's all we, all we do is, like right now, I got everything, lined up for, all my staff for this next, God willing, we win this election, to make sure that we have a good transition next year. Starting January, we're already working, for the residents, doing stuff right now. So next year is going to be exciting. We got a lot of projects in work that is going to start, to take shape.
And all those projects are going to cost a lot of money. How is this all going to get paid for?
Okay, so we got $24 million from the American Rescue Plan from the government. So we've been partnering with Wayne County. So Wayne County asked us for what projects we want to work on. And the biggest projects that we want to work on right now is the flooding. We'll try to alleviate some of the flooding we're having in the city. So we can contribute so much money from the American Rescue Plan that was given to us by the federal government. And at the same time, the county is working with us, trying to see if they can, match some of the funds that we put something in. Then they come up with more funding. So instead of spending all the $24 million on something, we might get more. So we could get, up to, like, say, $30 to $40 million on, the money that we, instead of spending $24 million, we could spend $30 million from funding that we're going to get from the county and the state for certain projects.
You may want to think about hiring a grant writer too.
Oh, I do have a grant writer, actually. I brought in a grant writer. He's gotten us several grants, millions of dollars in grants, and he's actually he's working right now on trying to get a grant to purchase about 30 homes off the Ecorse Creek. So we've had like several $1 million grants from FEMA, and he's also getting us other grants, so we can help the fire department, like say, get certain things, the police department, and anything for like water, sewer. The federal government is willing to give us money, and he's actually he's already working trying to get more. Well, he's gotten more grants. He's got a lot of grants recently, but we're working on getting more grants in the future.
And when November 3rd comes along, what's Bill Bazzi going to say?
Well, I'm going to say thank you to all the residents for their support. They came out. I got great support. In the August elections, and I'm thank all the residents for believing in me and trusting me to run the city and propel our city forward.
Very good. Well, Bill Bozzi, Mayor Bozzi, good luck in the election. Remember, get out there and vote November 3rd.
Thank you.
Back soon with another candidate. Welcome back. We now have another candidate for the mayor of the city of Dearborn Heights. We have Denise Malinowski-Maxwell.
Correct.
DMM.
Yep.
Welcome to the show, Denise.
Thank you.
So, you are running for mayor of the city of Dearborn Heights.
I am.
Why are you running for mayor?
I love the city. I grew up in it, and I know I can make it a better place to live.
And there's probably some things that as you've been campaigning, people have identified issues. You've identified issues. What are the principal issues that you see, Denise, as the things that are important to the city of Dearborn Heights residents?
Right now, the most important thing I think for all the residents is code enforcement. There's a lot of homes in the city that need to be cleaned up. There's a lot of homes that are abandoned and not in good shape that they should be torn down.
Well, how does the code enforcement help that out?
Well, we have certain ordinances that the residents must follow in regards to their homes, and if they don't, let's say cutting grass, then we ticket them or we warn them. First we warn them, and if they don't comply, then we ticket them.
And it seems like little things like the grass being cut, the whole appearance of the neighborhood, the condition of the yard, all those sort of things affects not just that home. What else does it affect?
Well, when you get long grass, you have mice and rats that live in the long grass, and it's not healthy for the neighborhood. That's why we have our garbage cans that we do now, the ones that are enclosed, to keep the rodents out of the trash.
So if you identify the problem as the code enforcement, what's going on with the code enforcers that are there?
We're understaffed. We need to attract new people to that department and get it working full force.
And how do you propose to get those new people into that department?
Well, hopefully now, I know they ended the unemployment, so I'm hoping that people will be looking for jobs now, and we can try and attract them to come to our city and be our code enforcement operators.
And along with code enforcement is also law enforcement. What's going on with law enforcement in Dearborn Heights?
I've always supported our law enforcement because that's for the residents directly. If anybody ever has to call 911, you want someone to show. We are also understaffed with our police too. So we've been having job fairs. We're trying to fill the vacancies, but it's not working so quickly.
And a police officer's job is never easy. It's a dangerous occupation.
We have a good group of police officers right now in our city, and I'd love to see us get more and be fully staffed.
And in my occupation, I'm an attorney and I deal with law enforcement all over the area. I have to say that Dearborn Heights officers are really, right at the top of the people I deal with there.
Yeah, we got a lot of good guys. I went on a ride along a few months back, and I was impressed what they go through in a single day, the different kinds of things. It's not just pulling people over. There was all kinds of calls. So many I never even expected. I learned a lot that day. And I learned to appreciate their job a lot more, even though I already did.
Along with police is the other most obvious thing is the fire department or
Correct.
EMS.
As president of city council, I've always supported whatever the police officers or the fire department has brought before me. I've never questioned it because I know they need it. And if somebody calls 911 and they don't have the correct supplies on that ambulance, or the police car doesn't show, that's the resident that's hurt by that.
And recently there's been a combination of the dispatchers for that. How's that working out?
Well, we decided to upgrade our dispatch center, so I think that we're going to be attracting new dispatchers. Some of them left a few years ago because there was rumors that we were going to use Dearborn's dispatch, but that's not the case anymore.
Not the case, so you got your own
I
dispatch.
voted for it to stay in Dearborn Heights.
Okay. What other things are important? Is the flooding issues? What's going on with how can you deal? How can you address those issues?
My main thing is we need to keep Warren Valley Golf Course as a golf course, it's our largest floodplain. Yes, it floods, but that's what it was meant to do. When the family donated it to the city, they knew they couldn't build on it because it took all the flood water in. It's meant to be a golf course when it's dry out. It's meant to be a floodplain when it rains. If you build in there, and where are you going to put the water? It's going to end up in everybody's basement around there. And the people that bought on that golf course paid a premium to look at that golf course. That's a premium lot, you know. And to put a house in, I would never ever agree to building houses in the Warren Valley Golf Course.
And what about at the far south end of the city with that other issue down there? What's going on with Ecorse Creek?
I will continue working to alleviate the flooding problems associated with Ecorse Creek. It's been ongoing for years. I've had family that's lived down there since the 50s. And I know because they lived right on the creek and they flooded a lot. And the challenge is real. Some of those properties should have never been built on. Right now we've got some grants that we are buying homeowners out of their homes and allowing them to move on and buy a home somewhere else that doesn't flood. And then we're tearing them down and just making it park-like area.
We're down about the last half minute or so. If you want to talk right to the voters of Dearborn Heights, what do you want to say to them, that camera right there?
My name is Denise Malinowski Maxwell. I am your city council president. I was your mayor pro tem in January and December and January when the mayor passed away. I ask for your vote. I'm a longtime resident of Dearborn Heights. My parents came here when I was 2 years old. I know this city. I've been in it my entire life. I know what it needs to make it work.
Denise Malinowski Maxwell, congratulations on getting to the finals. November 3rd is going to be a long day, I believe, but good luck to you.
Thank you. You have a good day now.
Best wishes too. Okay, thank you very much. Another candidate coming right up. Welcome back. We're here with Dearborn Heights City Council candidate, existing City Council member, Bob Constant. Bob, welcome to the show.
Gary, thank you.
It's good to have you here. You're running for re-election as Dearborn Heights City Council.
Correct.
Okay, what does Bob Constant identify as the big issues that are facing the people of Dearborn Heights?
So, several things. Of course, flooding in the north end. When I say flooding, sewer backup. We've had some hard rains, but you can't have water backing up through the city sewers into your basement. I mean, people are just devastated. And this last rain event, we had an area of flooding in the north end of more expensive homes, all got 4 or 5 foot of water, the streets filled up with water. That's one issue. Another issue, and you'll relate to this, these are generous times. Home values are way up. Man, we got to keep an eye on the budget. We have a new administration. They've created some new positions. They brought back some people. And what people want to see from their elected officials is to trim the fat and to a low budget so their property taxes are low and affordable, and their water bills are affordable. And we don't want to be using much of our reserves, our financial reserves, this year because I had a deal where I'm an attorney like yourself. Somebody wanted a house that was listed for $150,000. They had to put in a minimum bid of $165,000. I mean, the home values are just way up.
That's crazy, but let's go back to the flooding issues. What have you seen, or what do you think can actually be done about the flooding, and what would Bob Constant propose to help alleviate those issues?
So, number one, there is a plan to build a large retention basin where the old incinerator was.
And where's
off
that?
of Inkster Road in
Okay.
Dearborn Heights. The city bought that from the Central Wayne Sanitation Authority, which I used to sit on. And it's to be built by the Army Corps of Engineers. It's ready to go. Debbie Dingle was a great help, but it just needs funding. It needs funding. And there's a lot of flooding everywhere all over the U.S., so we got a call on the federal government to fund this project, It'll give the people a lot of relief. Every time it rains, I mean, I hear it. The pump stations, the power was out, or the streets weren't clean. There's got to be something to prevent that water flushing up into people's basements. I got on my phone a video of a gentleman who works for City of Dearborn Heights. He's got his home all fixed up, his children are all at home, and it's showing water shooting up through the drain into his basement. So
It's shooting right up out of the
yeah, and that's the water pressure.
That seems amazing to me. There's that much. Well, water always wins, as Glenn Hagee used to say on the radio. Again, it's just a major problem. But if you're going to look on the budget, how does the budget impact that? How would you, by trimming the fat, how would that affect the water issues?
So we want to make sure all our infrastructure, the pump stations, are working properly, that there's no power failures. You know, every time it rains, it seems that area on Telegraph right by Dearborn Hills is filled up with water, and it's like that for a week or two. I mean, there's got to be a fix to it. So I don't have the intricate knowledge of the infrastructure, but we built the Watershed Stewards Commission in Dearborn Heights, which I helped found with Kurt Heisey, a system where the water from the roof of the Richard A. Young Center, Recreation Center, drains into 3 rain gardens that absorb the water, and then the water doesn't end up in the creek right over there.
That's a big deal. We're down about the last minute or so. I want to talk to that camera right there and tell people of Dearborn Heights why Bob Constant wants to be reelected as council member.
I want to be able to finish my job as a city councilman to police and enact a reasonable city budget, and to help our seniors, help keep our property taxes low, our water bills reasonable, and Dearborn Heights, since the last census, enjoyed a population increase of about 5,000 residents. We want to be sure we have the schools and the good homes and the well-policed streets to house those people and take care of those residents. And I'm the person to do the job. My dad was on the Charter Commission, helped write the charter for the city of Dearborn Heights to become a city, and I've got many years of experience, and I'm looking forward to finishing the job with the new administration in Dearborn Heights.
Bob Constant, Councilman Bob Constant, very good. Congratulations on getting this far. Good luck November 2nd.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you.
We'll be back in a minute with another candidate. Don't go away. Welcome back. We're here with the candidate for the Dearborn Heights City Council, Nancy Breyer. Nancy, welcome to the show. I'm glad you could stop by and have a chat with us.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
So what does Nancy Breyer identify as the big issues that are important to the people of the city of Dearborn Heights?
Well, for the South Enders, and I am one of them, we have a problem with the Ecorse Creek. I intend to address that. In fact, last night I was made in charge of the commission for the Ecorse Creek.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, there's a few of us on the board, but we're hoping to get some help from Wayne County as part theirs. And there's been a lot of talk all these years about what we can and can't do, but we're actually going to start something into the ground working on dredging it a little or pulling out the junk in October. The county's going to help us with this.
Okay, and so that Ecorse Creek, for everybody from Dearborn Heights should know that. But it's the south end, run just right along Van Born Road there by,
Right.
And it is a perennial flood.
Since the 1860s, 1880s, when the Native Americans were there, they knew enough to dredge it out and widen it. And they didn't put their teepees anywhere near the water. So they were a lot smarter than we apparently were.
So that's a big issue. How's that going to get paid for to do all that? What do you plan?
We're going to need help from the county and some of the other cities that are being affected by it coming down through. It starts way up the other side of Wayne and Garden City. You got Taylor, you got Inkster, and we've got to do detention, retention, and a lot of little holding ponds something to make it, slow it down. We get more than 3 inches rain at a time, we're all in trouble. Homes on Hanover in particular and Courier, tri-levels, they get it. They've had it 3 times this year already, June, July, and August.
Well, that's a lot of grief.
It's not fair.
So besides the flooding of Ecorse Creek, what else is important to Nancy Breyer, in your view, for the Council for Dearborn Heights?
I want there to be a little bit of transparency, and I'd like to see the council work together, not be hostile, but to work at solving things in a more adult-like manner. And at my age, I wish to help the seniors take care of ourselves. And then I want to make the playgrounds and stuff all usable for the young children coming up. Make sure we have programs, parks and recreation. We're doing a pretty good job now, but I want to continue that.
And again, those parks and recreation programs all goes back to the funding for that. What do you think is that going to be paid for Dearborn Heights?
Well, Kim is doing a very good job with this. She's got a lot of funding already. Most of the trips the seniors take, we don't even have to pay for the bus.
That's Kim Constan. Right.
Yes, well, she's using her maiden name, Lauren Sell now. Yeah, that's another story.
Okay.
But Kim is right on it. We had a thing in, the last one was July, beginning of August, where the tail end of the music and all the activities for the young children, we had drones, 100 drones in the air, and it was fantastic. The neighbors probably that didn't know it was coming thought we were being invaded, I imagine, but it was just gorgeous.
So we're down to our last 2 minutes or so. If you want to you have your opportunity right now to talk to the people of the city of Dearborn Heights. Talk right to them, eyeball to eyeball.
Okay. Well, in addition to the almost 35 years I've served my community as a realtor, I wish to continue that at the city council level. And I attend most of the meetings. I've been on the Women's Commission, the Van Buren Corridor, through Mayor Paletko, and I'm now serving on the Ecorse Creek Commission through Mayor Bazzi. And I got elected to be in charge last night. But the other things, my background in sales has taught me negotiation and compromise. I think those are important aspects. And as I was an owner of a mobile home park, and I learned to deal with all kinds of people and situations, so I can work with businesses as well. And what else have I brought a couple little notes, I just grabbed them. So I've learned problem solving. And this is what we need. We need to find out what the issues are, then we have to go ahead and tackle and work these issues till we get them solved.
Sounds like a great plan, Nancy Breyer. Congratulations on making it this far. Good luck to you November 2nd.
Thank you very much.
And good luck. Okay, don't go away. We got to take your mic off, and we'll be back with another candidate here in a minute.
Okay.
Well, Jackie, this has been a wonderful night. I think the candidates, the people who have been here, everybody's learned a lot. I hope the viewers have learned a lot from the program. What do you want to say?
I want to thank everyone for coming out. I like to thank everybody for participating and exercising their right to vote and to really get the facts before they go to the polls. I mean, that's what this particular event is all about.
And again, we want to thank our sponsors for this evening, the Dearborn Area Chamber, CEO and President.
We want to thank Park Place. They did a beautiful job tonight for
they
more than
always do.
150 people. Comcast supported this event, as they always do. ServPro of Dearborn and Dearborn Heights, and Hype Athletics, they just stepped to the plate because we make it free to the public. It's wonderful.
It's a great thing. So thank you for sponsoring this. And now it's time to wrap up the show, maybe get a beer.
Amen.
See you again next time on KiwaniTalk. I'm Gary Gardner. And this is Jackie Lovejoy.